Listen to me. 2026 is not coming to play with you. It's not coming to be gentle. It's not coming to wait until you're ready. 2026 is coming to expose who you really are. And if you don't decide right now who you're becoming, life will decide for you. So hear this, not as motivation, not as entertainment, but as a line in the sand. These are the 6 things you must do for yourself in 2026 if you want a life that feels powerful, intentional, and free. Listen closely, because this is where everything begins. You don't lack talent, you don't lack intelligence, you don't lack opportunity. What you've been lacking is the courage to stop negotiating with the greatness inside you. Every time you say, "I'll do it tomorrow," every time you lower the bar because today feels uncomfortable, every time you choose ease over effort, you are quietly striking deals with the version of yourself you were meant to outgrow. And the cost of those deals is always the same: regret. You already know there's more in you. You feel it when you're alone. You feel it when you see someone else living boldly, and something inside you aches, not with jealousy, but with recognition. That's your potential knocking. And in 2026, you don't get to keep pretending you don't hear it. You've been treating your potential like a suggestion instead of a responsibility, like something optional, like something you'll get to once life slows down. Let me tell you something hard and true. Life is not going to slow down for you. The world does not pause because you're scared, tired, or unsure. It keeps moving. And every year you spend hesitating is a year you never get back. Negotiating with your potential sounds reasonable in the moment. It feels logical, even mature, but over time it erodes your self-respect. Because deep down you know when you're playing small, and nothing is heavier than carrying the weight of your own unfulfilled capability. Comfort will lie to you. It will tell you that you're safe where you are, that you don't need to push so hard, that you deserve rest before you've earned it. Comfort will dress itself up as self-care, as patience, as realism. But make no mistake, unchecked comfort is a thief. It steals your hunger. It dulls your edge. It convinces you that average is acceptable and survival is success. And before you know it, years have passed and you're still standing in the same place, wondering why nothing changed. In 2026, you must understand this clearly. Comfort is not neutral. It is actively working against the life you say you want. You were not built for convenience. You were built for challenge, for growth, for pressure that forges something stronger inside you. Every meaningful transformation in your life will demand discomfort first. There is no version of greatness that doesn't require sacrifice. No breakthrough that doesn't ask for discipline. No evolution that doesn't require you to let go of who you've been. When you negotiate with your potential, you're really saying, "I want the reward without the responsibility." And life doesn't work like that. The universe responds to commitment, not curiosity, to action, not intention, to those who decide, not those who delay. At some point, you have to stop asking yourself if you're capable and start holding yourself accountable for what you already know you can do. You don't need more confidence, you need more follow-through. Confidence is built by keeping promises to yourself. Every small promise you break weakens your belief in who you are. Every promise you keep strengthens it. That's why execution matters more than inspiration. Inspiration fades. Execution compounds. When you stop negotiating and start acting, something powerful happens. You begin to trust yourself again, and that trust becomes unshakable momentum. There's a version of you that wakes up early without excuses, that does the hard thing without applause, that chooses growth even when no one is watching. That version isn't imaginary. It's real. It exists right now. but it's waiting for you to stop compromising, waiting for you to stop explaining yourself, waiting for you to stop making room for fear at the table where your future should be sitting. 2026 is not the year to play it safe. It's the year to decide that your potential is non-negotiable. No more half effort. No more almost. No more someday. If you remember nothing else, remember this. The moment you stop negotiating with your potential is the moment your life starts responding to you. Decide, commit, act, and never betray what you know you're capable of becoming. Pay attention, because this may be the most overlooked truth in your entire life. You are tired not because you're doing too much, but because you're giving your energy to things that don't deserve it. Every unproductive conversation, every relationship built on obligation instead of alignment, every habit that numbs instead of nourishes, it all adds up. Energy is not infinite, it is currency. And whether you realize it or not, you are spending it every single day. The problem isn't that you don't have enough power, it's that you've been leaking it. In 2026, you must stop living like your energy is disposable. It is not. It is the foundation of everything you will ever build. Not everyone needs access to you, and that truth will make some people uncomfortable. Good. Boundaries are not cruelty, they are clarity. When you say yes to everything, you say no to yourself. When you allow everyone to pull on you, you are left with nothing to give to your own dreams. Some people will call you distant, others will say you've changed. Let them. Growth always disrupts familiarity. The people who benefit from your lack of boundaries will resist when you finally create them. But understand this, anyone who truly cares about you will respect the protection of your peace. Your attention is being hunted every day. Notifications, opinions, comparisons, noise, constant, relentless, exhausting. And the more scattered your attention becomes, the weaker your focus grows. Focus is power. It's how ideas become reality. It's how goals turn into outcomes. In 2026, you must be ruthless about what you allow into your mind. Not everything deserves your reaction. Not every comment needs a response. Silence is not weakness, it is control. When you stop reacting to everything, you regain command over your inner world. There are environments that drain you and environments that elevate you. This isn't about judgment, it's about honesty. Some rooms make you shrink. Some conversations leave you exhausted. Some spaces remind you of who you used to be instead of who you're becoming. Energy is contagious. If you stay in places that operate at a frequency lower than your vision, you will slowly be pulled down to match it. In 2026, choose environments that challenge you, sharpen you, and expand your thinking. If that means standing alone for a while, so be it. Solitude is far less dangerous than constant exposure to mediocrity. You also have to protect your energy from yourself, from negative self-talk, from replaying old mistakes, from carrying guilt that no longer serves you. The mind can be the greatest source of power, or the most efficient thief you'll ever encounter. What you repeatedly tell yourself becomes your internal climate. If that climate is filled with doubt, criticism, and fear, nothing healthy can grow there. In 2026, speak to yourself with discipline and intention. Not soft lies, but strong, grounded truth. You cannot be yield a powerful life while constantly tearing yourself down. Protecting your energy doesn't mean shrinking your world, it means refining it. It means choosing depth over chaos, intention over impulse, purpose over people-pleasing. When you guard your energy, you show the world that your time, focus, and presence matter. And once you start moving with that level of self-respect, everything shifts. Your decisions become sharper, your goals feel closer, your life begins to respond to the way you value yourself. Remember this, when you protect your energy, you protect your future. Guard it fiercely, spend it wisely, and never apologize for choosing peace, focus, and growth over noise. Understand this, because this truth separates those who change their lives from those who only talk about it. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are unreliable. They rise and fall with your mood, your environment, and your circumstances. Some days you wake up inspired, ready to conquer the world. Other days the fire is gone, replaced by doubt, fatigue, and distraction. If your progress depends on how you feel, you will always be inconsistent. That's why so many people start strong and fade fast. They wait to feel ready. They wait to feel confident. They wait to feel motivated. And while they're waiting, life moves on. In 2026, you must stop building your future on emotions and start building it on discipline. Discipline is not loud. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't beg for attention or validation. Discipline shows up quietly, repeatedly, even when no one is watching and no one is clapping. It's the decision to do the work when the excitement is gone. It's the choice to honor your commitments on days you feel tired, bored, or uncertain. Discipline is what carries you through the seasons when motivation disappears, and it will disappear. Every meaningful journey includes moments where passion fades and resistance grows. That's not failure, that's the test. Discipline is how you pass it. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Goals are destinations. Systems are the daily behaviors that move you forward whether you feel like it or not. When you rely on motivation, you act in bursts. When you rely on discipline, you act consistently. Consistency compounds. It turns small actions into massive outcomes over time. In 2026, your focus must shift from dramatic effort to daily execution. Not perfection, progress, not intensity, repetition. The smallest disciplined action done every day will outperform the strongest burst of motivation done once in a while. Discipline reshapes your identity. Every time you do what you said you would do, you send a message to yourself, I can be trusted. That trust becomes confidence, not the loud, performative kind, but the quiet, unshakable kind. The kind that doesn't need approval, the kind that doesn't collapse under pressure. Over time, discipline stops feeling like effort and starts feeling, like who you are. You become someone who shows up, someone who finishes, someone who doesn't need to be pushed because you are internally driven by standards, not moods. There will be days in 2026 when quitting feels reasonable, when skipping feels justified, when lowering the bar feels harmless. Those are the moments that matter most. Discipline isn't built on your best days, it's built on your worst ones. It's built when you choose to continue, even when there's no immediate reward, even when progress feels invisible, especially when no one would blame you for stopping. Those moments shape your character more than any victory ever will. Eventually, motivation will return, but by then it won't matter, because discipline will have already built the structure, the habits, and the momentum. Motivation will simply become fuel, not the engine. And that's when everything changes. You stop chasing inspiration and start creating results. You stop waiting for the right feeling and start acting from commitment. You realize that discipline was never about restriction. It was about freedom. The freedom to become who you said you would be. Let this be the year you stop waiting to feel ready. Build discipline first. Show up anyway. And watch your life transform as consistency turns your effort into identity and your identity into power. Hear this with clarity, because this truth will either discipline you or expose you. Motivation is emotional electricity. It surges, it excites, it makes you feel powerful for a moment. and then it disappears. And when it disappears, most people disappear with it. They stop showing up, they stop trying, they stop believing, not because they can't do the work, but because they tied their commitment to a feeling instead of a decision. Feelings are temporary. Discipline is permanent. In 2026, if you are still waiting to feel motivated before you act, you are surrendering control of your future to your mood. And moods are unstable leaders. They will abandon you the moment things get uncomfortable. Discipline is not punishment. It is self-respect in action. It is the quiet agreement you make with yourself that no matter how you feel, you will not abandon your standards. Discipline doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if you're uninspired. It doesn't care if yesterday was hard. Discipline shows up anyway. It is built in the moments where no one is watching, no one is cheering, and no one would blame you for quitting. Those moments are sacred, because every time you choose discipline over comfort, you reinforce the identity of someone who can be trusted, with responsibility, with pressure, with greatness. Most people overestimate what motivation can do and underestimate what structure can sustain. Motivation gets you started. Discipline keeps you moving. That's why so many people begin strong and finish nowhere. They chase excitement instead of building systems. They rely on bursts instead of consistency. But the truth is simple. The life you want will be built on boring days, repetitive actions, and uncelebrated effort. In 2026, your success will not come from dramatic breakthroughs. It will come from the discipline to do the same small, difficult things over and over again, long after the novelty has worn off. Discipline rewires how you see yourself. Each disciplined action is a vote for the person you are becoming. When you wake up early, even when you don't want to, you become someone who honors commitment. When you finish what you started, even when it's hard, you become someone who doesn't quit. Over time, this compounds into unshakable confidence. Not the kind that needs validation, but the kind rooted in evidence. You know who you are because you've proven it to yourself repeatedly. That kind of confidence cannot be taken from you. It's earned. There will be resistance. Your mind will negotiate. It will offer excuses that sound reasonable and logical. Just today, you deserve a break. You can do it tomorrow. And sometimes rest is necessary. But discipline is knowing the difference between recovery and avoidance. Discipline is not being extreme. It's being intentional. It's choosing what matters most over what feels best in the moment. In 2026, the question is not whether you'll feel resistance. You will. The question is whether you'll obey it or override it with commitment. Eventually, something shifts. What once felt heavy becomes normal. What once felt impossible becomes routine. Discipline stops feeling like effort and starts feeling like alignment. You no longer wait for motivation because you don't need it. You move because this is who you are now. And when motivation does show up again, it doesn't control you, it fuels you. That's the power of discipline. It builds the foundation so strong that no emotion can shake it. This is the year you stop waiting for the feeling and start honoring the commitment. Build discipline when motivation is absent, and you will become unstoppable when it returns. Let this land deeply, because avoiding this truth has cost you more than you realize. You don't outrun pain by ignoring it. You don't silence it by staying busy. You don't erase it by pretending you're strong enough not to feel it. Unhealed pain doesn't disappear. It waits. It waits in your reactions, in your triggers, in the patterns you keep repeating and can't explain. It shows up in the way you love, the way you trust, the way you pull away when things start to matter. In 2026, the greatest act of strength you can perform is not pushing harder. It's turning inward and facing what you've been running from. You've survived things that should have broken you, that matters. But survival is not the same as healing. Survival teaches you how to endure. Healing teaches you how to live. Many people confuse the two and wonder why they still feel heavy even after the danger is gone. You learn to adapt, to stay alert, to protect yourself, and those skills saved you once. But now, they may be limiting you. Pain that is not processed becomes identity. It shapes your decisions without asking for permission. Healing is about reclaiming that power and deciding who you are beyond what happened to you. Avoidance feels safer than confrontation, especially when the wound is old and familiar. But every time you avoid it, you reinforce its control. You tell it that it's too powerful to face. Healing doesn't mean reliving the pain. It means refusing to let it run your life. It means acknowledging what hurt you without letting it define you. It means learning how to sit with discomfort long enough for it to lose its grip. In 2026, you don't need to be fearless. You need to be honest. Honesty is what opens the door to freedom. Healing is not linear and it is not pretty. There will be moments when you feel like you're moving backward, when old emotions resurface, when you question whether it's worth it. That's part of the process. Growth often looks like unraveling before it looks like clarity. You're not weak for needing time. You're not broken because it still affects you. You are human. And choosing to heal is choosing to give yourself the compassion you may never have received when you needed it most. You also have to let go of the idea that healing is something you do alone. Strength does not mean isolation. Some wounds require reflection. Others require support. Whether that comes through conversation, guidance, or simply allowing yourself to be seen, healing accelerates when you stop hiding. Vulnerability is not exposure, it's release. When you name what hurt you, you take away its power to silently control you. In 2026, allow yourself to be supported. You don't have to carry everything by yourself anymore. When healing begins, something extraordinary happens. You start responding instead of reacting. You stop projecting the past onto the present. You make choices from clarity instead of fear. Your relationships deepen. Your confidence stabilizes. Your sense of self becomes grounded, not defensive. Healing doesn't make you soft. It makes you whole. And a whole person moves through the world with a strength that doesn't need to prove itself. This is the year you stop running. Face what hurt you, heal what shaped you, and reclaim the future that pain has been holding hostage. You are not your wounds, and you never were. Let this truth settle in, because your life is answering one question every single day. What are you willing to accept? Your standards are not just preferences, they are instructions. They tell the world how to treat you, what behavior is allowed around you, and what level of effort you believe you deserve. Every area of your life, your work, your relationships, your health, your mindset, is a reflection of the standards you've set or failed to set. When standards are low, life feels chaotic and disappointing. When standards are high, life becomes intentional. In 2026, you must understand this clearly. Nothing rises in your life without your standards rising first. You may think lowering your standards keeps the peace, avoids conflict, or makes you easier to be around. But what it really does is teach people that your boundaries are flexible and your self-respect is negotiable. Each time you tolerate what drains you, disrespects you, or holds you back, you send yourself a message that your needs are secondary. Over time, that message becomes belief, and belief becomes behavior. Raising your standards is not about becoming rigid or demanding. It's about becoming honest about what you will and will not accept in your life. High standards require courage because they force you to confront uncomfortable truths. You may have to outgrow certain relationships. You may have to walk away from situations that feel familiar but limiting. You may have to admit that some of the chaos in your life has been enabled by your own tolerance. This is not about blame, it's about responsibility. In 2026, responsibility is power. The moment you accept that you teach people how to treat you, you regain control over your environment and your future. Raising your standards also means demanding more from yourself. This is where real transformation begins. It's easy to hold others accountable while excusing your own inconsistencies. But growth requires alignment between what you expect and what you deliver. Higher standards mean showing up when it's inconvenient, speaking with integrity when silence would be easier, and choosing discipline over excuses. This isn't about perfection, it's about commitment. When you raise the standard for your own behavior, everything around you adjusts to meet it. Expect resistance when you elevate your standards. Some people will feel threatened. Others will accuse you of changing. Let them. When you stop accepting less, those who benefited from your low standards will push back. That reaction is not a sign you're wrong. It's confirmation that you're evolving. The right people, the right opportunities, and the right environments will rise to meet you where you are going. Growth always involves all separation before it brings alignment. Over time, high standards simplify your life. Decision-making becomes clearer. Boundaries become stronger. You waste less energy on what doesn't matter and invest more in what does. You move with intention instead of reaction. You stop chasing validation and start living from self-respect. And from that place, your life begins to reflect your values rather than your fears. This is the year you stop settling. Raise your standards without apology, live in alignment with them, and watch your life rise to meet the level of respect you finally demand for everything.